Welcome back to my channel, baddies. Maybe third time's the charm, because this is the third time I start recording this intro. The planes keep flying over our house like super loud. They're not flying right over our house, but the planes here are so loud. Anyway, okay, so anyway, guys, I have a special treat for you guys today. For a really long time, I've been thinking about how I don't want my channel to just be tutorials. I want it to be super diverse, and I want to have all sorts of different content where I can connect with you guys and just stuff that's entertaining for you guys. And something that I was like, oh my gosh, how cool if I did a series of Tumbler Talk with Mayra, and I had different guest speakers on the show. Look at me, calm down. It's your YouTube channel, but you know what I'm saying. Essentially, on the show, where I interview people, you get to learn about these, amazing people, and I don't know, just something different to throw out there. Guys, I'm really excited. This is an idea that I've had for a while, and I finally was able to work out the kinks and set up my first interview, and I hope that you guys love it. Please tell me in the comments what you thought about this type of video. Of course, I'm still gonna primarily do tutorials and teach you guys, but my heart also wants to do other things, and this is just the beginning. I have more ideas of different things that I'm gonna bring to my channel. But I almost want you to feel like you're coming to my channel to hang out with me and to get new information and to have a good time, and not just always for tutorials. I want this channel to be so much more. So I hope that you guys like the direction that I want to go in, because I'm excited about it. I don't know, I feel so happy. I'm trying to be like Oprah. No, I'm just kidding. But in all reality, I'm really curious to see your guys' feedback about today's video, because I definitely have a lot more ideas of things that I want to bring to life. Ow, my elbow. So please, without further ado, I'll let you guys get into the interview. And please tell me in the comments what you thought about the video, and if you'd like to see more of this content. Like I said, I will still be doing lots and lots of tutorials, but I do have multiple ideas for different little things that I want to incorporate. So if you're new here, please like and subscribe. We get real ratchet real quick. I'm just kidding. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I love you guys so much. Besitos. Let's get into the interview. Hi guys, I have my very good friend, Yvette. I hope I'm pointing to the right side of the screen. I don't know where she's gonna be, but Yvette is the creator behind Maestra Creations. I'm sure a lot of you already know her. So she's officially the very first guest speaker in the episode of Tumbler Talk with Mayra. So let's get to know Yvette, because even though I'm sure a lot of you know who she is, a lot of you might not know who she is. And believe me, you want to know who she is, because she's the best. So my first thing, I have an official little thing here too. Yvette, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and how you started making tumblers?
All right, so my name is Yvette. I am the owner of Maestra Creations. I started in 2018 while I was a teacher. So I was an elementary school teacher. I taught second and third graders, dual language students, and it all kind of just started because I wanted to buy a Cricut and decorate my classroom. So yeah, so I wanted to make cute little games for them and all of that stuff. And so I joined the Cricut groups on Facebook, and I saw these people making tumblers, and I was like, okay, I like that. How do you do that? So it really just started off from there. I found a mentor who taught me everything I know about making tumblers. She taught me how to start my business. It hasn't been easy. It's been a slow process, but the consistency and the hard work is really what gets you there. I'm now at the point where I've kind of gone away from selling too many tumblers. I sell glitter now, and I teach people how to make tumblers and start their business. And now I even teach people how to start a glitter business. So that's kind of where my business is at right now.
That's exciting. Well, thanks, Boo. I love that you get to tell people a little bit about yourself so they can realize where the obsession comes from. But okay, so I have a little list of questions and then we can just kind of go from there. Guys, we're a little nervous, okay? She's the first person that I've interviewed. I've never interviewed, so we're both nervous. So, okay, my first question, I feel like Oprah.
Totally.
What is your favorite tumbler? What is your favorite part of tumbler making? What is your favorite part?
Yeah, so my favorite part of tumbler making, and I was just talking about this on Instagram before hopping on here, is glittering. So that's my favorite part. That's what I look forward to and what I enjoy.
I love that so much. It's funny how every tumbler maker has like a different thing that they love. I
Yeah.
feel like glittering is not my strong point. So I really like once I get that first coat of epoxy and then move on to the next. I'm like, okay, I got past the glittering part. So I love that. And what is your least favorite part?
Oh my gosh.
I know what you're going to say.
Favorite part is decaling. So sanding the cup, making sure it's smooth, that's not a big deal. But then once it's time to add the decal, that's where all of my mistakes happen, literally. Sometimes I weed incorrectly or the machine didn't cut deep enough, so I have to cut the name again. Especially with holographic decals, you apply them on the cup and then you apply epoxy over them and then they lip or they have 10 billion bubbles over them. Literally, the decals is where I make all of my mistakes. So that's the worst part for me.
You are speaking to everybody's heart. I don't know. Tell us in the comments, guys, but I hate decals. I hate decals. I think that might be one of the reasons that I used to hate custom orders because people were like, hey, can you put this whole paragraph from this movie? And I'm like, girl, you know how small I got to do the font? But, you know, one time I did a Tumbler and I forgot the I, girl. I forgot the I and I had already epoxied. So I had to go back and put an I and hopefully no one knew. But dude, decal day. Okay, so this is a very important question because a lot of the girls that are watching, girls or gentlemen, are brand new to tumbler making or they barely are thinking about starting. So what are some mistakes that you made in the beginning and you could talk about now to possibly help someone avoid those mistakes?
Yeah, so I made so many mistakes when I first started. I think that one of the biggest mistakes that I made was giving up so easily or wanting to give up so easily. It's really discouraging when you're trying to make a cup and it doesn't come out the way you want it, especially when you're first starting. So I made a lot of mistakes with cups. I messed up maybe 20 cups as I was learning. And I remember all of the times I would tell my fiance, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, what's the point? They're not coming out cute. And he was the one who was like, no, you got to keep going. You got to keep going. And then I found my mentor who kind of helped me a little more. So that's, the main thing I talk about all the time, that you're going to make mistakes with your tumblers, but that's how you learn and that's how you grow to make better quality tumblers. Another thing that I feel like is a mistake, which I'm still kind of guilty of, is not setting boundaries with customers. As a business, you cannot make yourself available to your customers 24/7. They need to understand that there are boundaries and you have business hours. So you need to set those boundaries, set the record straight with them. Don't let them get away with, whatever they want to. This is a business and you make the rules because you are the owner.
I agree. Those are really good points. I wouldn't have thought about the setting boundaries with customers, and that's a really important one, you guys. That's a really important one, and I'm really glad that she touched on wanting to give up because there was a few times where I was like, "What am I doing? Like, look at this ombre. Like, no, 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 no. So it's really important that when you start, you don't look at what other people are doing and say, mine doesn't look anything like it, because trust me, mine didn't look anything like what anybody else has looked at the beginning. So, one time my husband asked me if I was trying to make it look like a pickle. And I was like, okay, so this one's going in the strip pile.
Yeah, that's another thing I was guilty of as well. I would look at all of these makers who were, way ahead in the game, more ahead than I was. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is it going to take for me to get there? What is it going to take for me to get all of these orders weekly? Like, I wish I was there. And that would really discourage me because I felt like I was never going to get there.
Yeah, yeah, and I feel like that goes back to comparing your beginning with somebody else's middle, or somebody else's, somebody who's been doing it for a long time. They started where you did. So comparison is the thief of all joy. Just do your thing, be consistent, and slowly things will happen for you. You just have to work, you just got to work hard.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've got another one, and I don't know if this is a similar question or not, but what are some of the biggest challenges that you faced while trying to get your name out there?
Some of the biggest challenges that I faced while trying to get my name out there was, again, worrying about the competition and feeling like there was an oversaturated market, which we talk about a lot. You don't know that your market is oversaturated until you're working in it, because you're looking at all of the competition. So I talk about this a lot as well, for your customers. So if I'm a Tumbler maker and I have my customers who buy from me all the time, they're only buying from me. Of course, they might see other makers or so, but they don't know that there's thousands of other makers out there. They're buying from you because they like you and your work. And every maker has different things to offer. So that was a big challenge for me, just kind of having to accept and look past that and focus on myself. Some other big challenges that I faced was just learning the art of social media and what each social media platform is looking for in order to grow your business. This is something a lot of people struggle with. They want to grow their following and they don't know how, or people tell them how and they don't want to do the work. There's no shortcuts to growing a business. So I just say take it all in, learn as much as you can, follow business coaches who know what they're doing, and learn from them and implement in your business.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. Actually, a lot of the social media things that I have learned, I learned from Yvette, actually. And one of the things that I never thought about until I listened to one of her Clubhouse episodes, is that every single social media has a different algorithm and it changes constantly. And if you do not know what that is, you're potentially going to be doing something that's maybe not going to get you the traffic that you want. And I never realized or thought about that until Yvette talked about it in one of her Clubhouse episodes. And I actually implemented something that she taught me, and let me tell you right now, it has done wonders for me, you guys. Yvette said, do Instagram Reels. They are a game changer. And when I tell you that the moment she ended that episode, I was like, what do I have pre-recorded? And there is not one single reel that I have uploaded that has less than 3,000 views. Now, mind you, on TikTok, I have 72,000 followers, which you would think that's a lot, but I feel like TikTok followers, I don't know how the algorithm works, but I get barely any views. And how is it possible that on Instagram, where I have, 10,000, I'm getting all these thousands of views? And it's because, like Yvette said, Instagram is trying to push reels. So they're going to promote your reels that you post. And let me tell you guys, I have been doing a little experiment, and I have been posting the same video on my reels and on TikTok, where I have so many followers, and I get more views on Instagram. like game changer. So Yvette is right. Like, make sure that you like know the rhythm for each social media and how it's changing, and getting a coach is important because that helped me a lot. Okay, so my next question is, do you have any tips for the baddies watching on a few things that they can do to start growing their social media following?
Yes, there's a lot of things I could talk about here. So the number one thing is consistency. So you have to decide how many times you want to post on social media and stick to that every single week. That is what consistency is. So for me, what has worked for me is Instagram and TikTok. So I dedicate all of my time to Instagram and TikTok. So you obviously you have to decide what social media platforms work for you. I'm just letting you know Instagram and TikTok right now are what has grown my business. I've seen so many of my students get on Instagram and TikTok and blow up because they have been consistent. So I post every day. I post one TikTok and one reel. It's the same video. I just post it on both platforms. I do that every day. My reels do better. So, like Mayra was saying, her reels do better on Instagram than on TikTok. Mine are the same way. So I really recommend that you are always recording what you're doing. I have a phone mount on my desk, on my epoxy table. They're already set up. So anytime I'm about to work, I just have to plug in my phone and hit record. I don't have to set anything up. If I had to set up every time I was going to record, I wouldn't want to record. So building that content library for yourself is really going to help for you to get known and you to grow. So I'm always recommending that you're posting daily. The videos are really what do the best for you and for your reach. Of course, you know, you're going to start small, but those reels are going to be pushed out since it's such a new platform. Instagram is rewarding the accounts who are using it. I also always recommend that your profile picture is a picture of yourself, not a picture of your logo. So I'm also not talking about a selfie where, you know, you're, I don't know, just an unprofessional selfie. I'm not talking about that. I'm more so talking about a picture. You can set your phone somewhere, hit the self timer, and take a picture in your craft room, something like that, if you don't have professional photos. So that's going to really help. A lot of people have given me feedback after I've told them this. They have mentioned to me that this has really brought in more followers and more messages. So just FYI, it does work. Another thing that I would recommend is to be on Instagram stories every day, multiple times a day. Instagram stories is where people get to know you. So this is where you can share a little bit about your life. So I share about my dogs. When I first started my business and I started stories, I was like, what can people possibly relate to me? I didn't think that I was very relatable, but it's not the case. You know, a lot of the things that you're doing, that you're going through in your life that you can share a little bit about, a lot of others are going through the same thing. So my allergies, I share about my allergies, my dogs, and a lot of people can relate to that, and they start, you know, responding to those stories, and you start building relationships. Customers will buy from people who they know, like, and trust. So when you're showing your face on your stories, showing a little bit about your life on there, people start feeling connected to you and they start feeling like they know you, which is what you want. And then the ultimate tip that I can give to growing your business is going live. Instagram and TikTok will push your live to more people than just like a photo that you put on your feed. So try to incorporate those lives, get your feet wet, and see how it goes.
Thank you, Yvette. I hope that you guys have a little notepad and stuff, because I'm over here like try to make it look like your hand isn't moving. But you know, guys, Yvette is so knowledgeable. I mean, I feel like I have learned a lot from her too. And at one point I was like, yeah, I feel like I'm doing really good. Like, I feel like I know my stuff. And then I got on her Clubhouse and I was like, okay, so you don't know shit. Okay, take notes, take notes. So guys, these tips that she's putting out are they're gold. You know, they really do work. lives are what put me out there to begin with. So it's okay if you're nervous, and don't ever think that you're not outgoing enough, because not every single person in the universe is outgoing. And there are people who are going to be like, oh my God, she's like me. Like, if she's doing it, I can do it too. So you have people who will relate to you. So that's a really, really good one. Thank you, Yvette. Man, that was what I'm really excited about this. Okay. I wrote this down, so I'm just going to read it. Let's talk about some of the amazing things that you have achieved. Yvette, can you tell us what, and let me know if I'm pronouncing it right. Can you tell us what a patron group is? Is it patron or Patreon? Patreon. Listen, you guys already know. Okay. Can you tell us what a Patreon group is?
Yes, so I started my Patreon group actually 1 year ago. It's going to be a year in May. So what a Patreon is a way for you to support a maker, an artist, anyone who makes one, basically. And so when you join that Patreon, you get exclusive benefits that the public who's not registered would not receive. So I do have a Patreon where I teach people how to make tumblers, and I have exclusive benefits for them, like CCDIY coupons every month, 22% off my glitter, 4 tutorials monthly. So there's a lot of benefits to being a part of the Patreon. And it's a super exciting way you can support people who you feel like have helped you in your journey.
I love that very much. Guys, I think that Yvette is the perfect example of the fact that you can start this journey that you never even know you were going to end up doing and accomplish all of these things. I feel like that's super inspiring. Just to think that she told us just a little bit ago that there were moments where she wanted to quit, and now she's helped so many people gain confidence and, start their businesses or get the tools that they need to work towards that step. So it just gives me chills when I think about it, because I feel like you have to work really hard to achieve these kinds of goals, and it just makes me really excited. I love like women who are making it and doing amazing things and willing to say, I'm going to reach out to you and I'm going to pull you up. I'm going to show you how I did it, but guys, please do always remember that all the information Yvette is giving you, like take it, absorb it, but you have to work really hard. It's very consistent. Sometimes I text Yvette and I'm like, girl, it's been a long day, but sometimes literally from the moment, we wake up to the moment we go to bed, it's answering messages, sanding, like everything. Yvette has got to be 8 times more busy than I am, because she does her Patreon group, she does Clubhouse, she sells glitter, she packages it. I ordered glitter from her and it's like, ding, it's on its way. And I'm like, ma'am, hey, do you sleep? So, just know, guys, that it is very time consuming, and sometimes you have to sacrifice a little bit, a lot actually at the beginning, to get to where you want to be. But hard work and consistency will always pay off. So I love that you told us that. So can you please tell us at what point in your Tumbler journey did you decide, you know what? I think I want to start a Patreon group. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this.
Yeah, so I actually talked about this on Clubhouse a few weeks ago. It's very important for you not to just be making money through one source of income. You need to make sure that you have different ways of making money just in case something happens and one fails. So I kind of just ran with what was going on. So last April, I was on the TikTok train because I saw all of these videos blowing up and I wanted mine to blow up as well. So in about March, one of my videos on TikTok blew up, which brought me so many Tumbler sales. So that kind of started everything. So my Tumbler sales were blowing up, but at the same time, I also had an audience that was finding me, who was asking me a lot of questions. So how do you do this? What glitter is that? Can you show me how to ombre? Any question about tumblers and how to make them? I had so many. So if you are someone who enjoys teaching and you see that a lot of people are asking you how to do something, that's an opportunity for you to start a mentorship or maybe start some one-on-one classes. So when I started realizing, hey, okay, a lot of people are asking for my help, a lot of people want me to walk them step by step on how to do tumblers. So I decided that this was my opportunity to start a Patreon and start my group. So I opened it. I literally started maybe with about 15 people in the group, and every month it's been growing. Right now we're up probably at 400 and some change. So it's a slow growth, you guys. You just have to be consistent and you have to keep working at it. You're not going to become a millionaire in one night. You know what I mean? I'm still not a millionaire. So it's just slow growing, and you can't give up. That's my biggest advice to you.
Yeah, wow. Now, for some of the people who might be like, oh, wait a minute, I might want to join her Patreon group and learn from her. Um, so do you have like a file where all your tutorials stay? So like, for example, if someone were to sign up for your Patreon group today, would they have access to everything that you've already kind of taught?
Yeah, so if you are someone who's starting from zero, I have all the tutorials there on how to start. So how to glitter a tumbler, how to ombre, how to epoxy, all of the basics. If you're someone who, already knows the basics, we also have a lot of design tutorials in there. And to answer your question, if you sign up today, you would be able to see all of the previously uploaded tutorials, which it's, a lot at this point.
That's perfect, guys. So I know a lot of you sometimes are like, I really want to start, but I don't know where to start. I I'm gonna have the link to her website and her Instagram in the description. And if you go to the link in her bio, it has all of the links to everything that she does: her glitter, her tumblers, her Patreon group. So if you guys are watching this and you're like, wait, that kind of sounds like what I need. Like I need that attention. I literally need to learn how to glitter a tumbler. That would be a really good option for you guys. She's a great teacher. I I learn from her every day, and I thought I already knew everything, but so that's a really great resource for you guys. So definitely like think about that. I still remember when Yvette posted on her stories that she was going to sell glitter. I remember seeing that and screaming because I was like, I want to sing a Cardi B song, but I'm not. But like, you're a boss ass, like I was like, yes, 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 get it. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. And her glitter is absolutely phenomenal. I'm sure a lot of you know because I know a lot of you guys follow both of us. But for those of you who don't know, her glitter is absolutely beautiful. I'll definitely be doing a tutorial very soon with my favorite color from her. So just to kind of show you guys like that shine and stuff. But definitely check her out. So that brings on my next question. What made you decide like, you know what? I think I want to sell glitter now.
Yeah, so I actually said to myself, I will never sell glitter. When I was making tumblers, I was like, I'll never do that. I feel like the steps that I have taken in my journey have been, when I'm ready. So a lot of us say, I'll never do that. And then, a few years pass and now you're ready and now you want to do it. So I got to the point where my business was growing because of that TikTok video that kind of started everything. Then I started the Patreon and it was growing. I was starting to show my face on my stories. And I just felt like this was the next step. I didn't want to sell glitter because I was so loyal to the person I bought glitter from before that. I never wanted to stop using her glitter. So I was like, you know what? If I'm going to sell glitter, then I need to sell glitter that is, just as good or better than hers. Because if I'm going to promote glitter, then it needs to be good. I don't want to use crappy, glitter. So I started kind of researching the glitter and the suppliers and all of that. It was very difficult because there's not a lot of coaches or there's not a lot of people who are willing to help you. So I had to figure everything out by myself, not knowing if it was the right thing to do. Like every decision I've had to make about my glitter business has been, just what I think is right. But there was never anyone who was like, yeah, that's right. Do this, do that. So it's been very difficult. to try to figure out everything on your own. There's still things that as my business is growing, I'm like, okay, who can I ask about this? Because I have no idea. Like, there are businesses who are growing up to having warehouses, and I'm like, okay, what? Like, I have no clue. So, it's been difficult, but I just felt like it was the next step for my business, and here, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I think that's really inspiring because I think that taking a big step like that can be really scary, especially when you're kind of diving into something that no one is helping you with. You have no idea. You're like, okay, well, I'm kind of going into this blindly just with the research I've done, but here goes nothing. And I feel like your glitter has been very successful. I mean, I feel like from the moment you started selling glitter to now, you constantly sell out. You've got subscription boxes. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I know me personally, I'm impatient. So that's why I use Amazon for everything. So I think that just knowing that you're going to place an order and that it's probably going to get shipped pretty soon after you place the order is very important. So I think that you have worked really hard, and it is showing. It's definitely like you can tell. And so I'm really excited to see where your glitter goes, because I see big things. So I'm excited. Pretty soon it's going to be a warehouse tour one day. I speak it into existence. My next question is, can you tell us what inspired you, which I kind of feel based on what you just said, but can you tell us what inspired you to decide to have a glitter mentorship?
Yeah, so what I just said, it was really hard for me to find help. I didn't find help. I just kind of did what I thought was right. My mentor, she teaches how to make tumblers and start a tumbler business, but she did not teach how to sell glitter. She also sold glitter, but she didn't teach that part of it. And so I never found anyone who could help me. There might be people out there, and I just don't know them, who are willing to help you start a glitter business. But I felt like with the questions I was getting, because I do get those questions, where do you get your glitter from to sell? And unfortunately, I don't share that, just with anyone. So I thought that this would be a good opportunity to start a mentorship where I could walk people through starting a business. I've walked many people through this mentorship. I started it at the end of December of 2020. And it's been crazy and also, amazing to see my students actually launch their glitter line. It just makes me so happy that I was able to help someone else start their business.
Guys, and if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about Yvette, like, I don't know what will, because to me, I feel like for you to be willing to say, hey, you know what, like, you're eventually going to be my competition, but that's okay. I'm still going to help you. What that says about her character is out of this world, and the thing is, Yvette is still going to have blessings on blessings on blessings because of that. At no point is she like, well, I'm not going to tell somebody, how I started my business, because then I'm not going to do good. So that is such a selfless thing to do for people. And I love that. I love that, Yvette. I love that you do that. That's amazing. So this is a question that when we're all live, I constantly see people ask this. So for some of the subscribers that maybe have never caught us live, can you please tell us how you manage your time on a daily basis so that you can get everything done in a timely manner?
Yeah, so my schedule might look a little bit different just because I sell glitter and tumblers. I just have a bunch of different things to do. But when I was a tumbler maker, I focused on one thing at a time when I had a lot of orders. So day one, I would prep my tumblers, paint them, maybe glitter them if I had time, depending on how long prepping took me. Day two, continue glittering. Day three, epoxy. Day four, sand and decal. Or I'm sorry, you had to epoxy twice, and then sand and decal. And so one thing every day, and take it from there. That's kind of what helped me. At this point, my roles have kind of changed. So I wake up, I ship any orders that need to be shipped out. I answer DMs on social media. Then I get started on tumblers. So epoxying or whatever needs to be done with my tumbler orders, which are not too many anymore. So definitely batch what you're doing. So if you have to epoxy all your cups at one time. If you have to glitter, epoxy all your orders at one time. That really helps. Also with your content on social media, um, planning your content in one sitting. So take 1 to 2 hours to plan your content for the next week or two. That really helps a lot. And it's going to help you post more consistently as well.
Yes, I love that. I feel like that's a very good tip. I feel like that is part of the reason why I burned myself out at first. And I'm so glad that you talked about that, because at the beginning when I had a lot of orders, I mean, I truly, I think at one point I had 50 orders at once, and I know for sure I did not have enough turners to be taking that many orders. So also I think it's a matter of knowing how much you can handle. Because I definitely did not have enough turners for the amount of orders that I was accepting. And that's where I needed to have been like, you know what? My cutoff is right now, but next month I'll be taking more. And I didn't do that. And what I was doing, which I was starting a tumbler from start to finish. And as I would get the orders, I would do them. So instead of doing it the way she was doing, which sounds so much easier, I was doing every single cup at different steps. And it was very stressful. So it doesn't matter if you have 50 orders, 20 or 10, get yourself into that rhythm, and that way, instead of having to spend hours every day doing decals, dedicate it to one day, put a Netflix show on and just get them done. That's really good, Boo. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is something that I really love hearing you talk about. So I am out of questions, but I felt like we should have this little discussion because I feel like it's very common. I think we should talk about like Tumbler crafter world etiquette. This is something that's very important, and what's common sense to you is, believe me, is not common sense to someone else. Something that I wanted to get Yvette's opinion on is, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Basically, let's touch a little bit on what is okay for you to comment on other people's social media and not. For example, poaching customers off of another maker's comment section and stuff like that. So, Yvette, can you please talk to us a little bit about this?
Yeah, so I feel like questions are okay if you want to ask them, maybe what glitter is that? There's a nice way to go about that. So saying, hello, I love your Tumbler. Can I ask what glitter that is? That is totally okay in my opinion. It's also perfectly great for you to just leave a compliment. That goes a long way, and it makes a difference. So if you literally just comment saying, oh my gosh, I love your Tumbler, you chose great colors, and that's it, that goes a long way. So taking the time to do that with other makers is going to set you apart. It's going to make them, want to support you back, which really helps with the social media algorithm. Now, what's not okay is you commenting on someone's post and saying, oh, I can do that for cheaper, or something like that, which has happened to me. There are also customers who don't make tumblers, and they comment on posts and they tag another maker, and they're like, so can you do this for me? That is so rude, guys. Do not do that. Unfortunately, I block those people because I just think that's very rude. If you see that this is an account who made this Tumbler, then you should probably look into purchasing from them. That's kind of rude in my opinion. So
yeah. I definitely, last night when I was coming up with questions, I was trying to think of good things to talk about. And so recently I had a comment on my TikTok, and I just couldn't stop thinking about it, and I don't don't do custom orders anymore, you guys, just because I don't have time anymore. And I made the decision to make YouTube my #1 priority always. So I don't do custom orders anymore. And I let people know that. But recently, someone commented on one of my videos and said, hey, I love this tumbler. Can I order? And when I get those kinds of comments, I always reply politely. And I say, hey, I'm so sorry, I don't do custom orders. However, these are the people that I recommend that do. And when I tag someone that I'm recommending, I'm tagging someone who I already know the quality of their work. I know their turnaround time. I know that they'll be able to help that customer. And I know that they are reliable, okay? This person came into the comments to reply to that person and said, hey, I can actually make this for you for really cheap. Why don't you follow my page and I'll follow you back and we can talk about it. And to me, I thought that was so rude because that girl wasn't even following me. And so to me, it's not about the fact that she wanted to help one of the customers. It's the principle of what she did that I felt was extremely disrespectful. And also, I love my followers very much, and I am not going to ever, I don't know that person. I don't know if that person's a scammer. I don't know if she's going to give you a tumbler or not, or I don't know what quality you're going to get. So don't do that. Work hard and get your own traffic and get your own customers. But, don't do that to other people. I always delete those comments and block the person as well, because you're obviously not here to be supportive and to, you know what I'm saying? But I felt like that was really important. That is all my questions that I have. How did we do? I feel like we did really good.
I think we did good. This was your first time and this was my first interview, so super excited.
Do you have anything that you want to say or anything that you want to put out there before we say bye to the people?
No, I think we said it all. Thank you for watching and being here to listen. If you need anything from me, I know that Mayra will put my Instagram. You can always message me and ask me anything that you need. That's what I'm here for.
Okay, guys, so this is Yvette, okay? She is the creator behind Maestra Creations. A lot of you know who she is. A lot of you might not, but we get this question a lot, and I think it's a funny story. It's a funny, cute story, because I slippity slid into her DMs. So I love telling the story of how we met. So I found Yvette on TikTok. This was when I was very new. I had never gone live. I didn't know a lot yet. And at that time I struggled with Mod Podge. I mean, that's how new I was. And this girl used to glitter, and I was obsessed with her videos. And one day I commented and I was like, girl, do you have any tips for working with Mod Podge? And she replied to me. And I feel bad for her that she replied, because from that moment on, I was like, hey, I'm obsessed. Now you're stuck with me. But Yvette makes this really beautiful cactus tumbler. I wish I had it near me so I could show it to you. And I recreated it one day and I messaged her in her DMs and I was like, hi, I follow you on TikTok. Yeah, I love your cups. And look, I made this cactus cup. Is it okay that I recreated your cup? Because I love you so much. Guys, she replied, and I was like, oh my God, oh my Lanta, she replied. So that is how we met. Maybe, do you remember the story the same way?
Yeah, I do. I feel like when you messaged me, I felt like you seemed a little scared, like that I would be mad that you recreated the tumbler. And I was like, oh my gosh, this tumbler looks amazing. Thank you so much for sharing it with me. I was like, do you mind if I share it on my story? Because I was just so excited that you had recreated it. So yeah, it was good for us.
But
yeah, and then it took on from there.
I know, it just snowballed from there because I was like, don't ever leave me or I'll find you. No, I'm just kidding. But she gave me so much kindness, and that just I feel like that gave me a little bit of wings. And I was like, oh, she reposted my cup. That means I'm good. But I think that's one of the reasons why I make it a point to try to always reply to my DMs as much as I can. Sometimes it's hard, but I always try because I'll never forget those butterflies that I got, you know? So, so that's how we met. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I hope you had fun. I hope that you love Yvette, and I'm gonna have all of her information linked in the description. She's very, very sweet. So if you're looking to get into tumblers and you need some help, her Patreon group is a really, really good place for you to start. I hope you like this. Please let us know in the comments what your favorite part. Did you learn something? Would you like to see another episode like this again? So, all right, guys. Bye. Thanks for hanging out with us.